We know the Northern Territory has got the highest prevalence of middle ear diseases in the world. That is according to the World Health Organization. And if you haven't thought much about your hearing lately, well, it might be a good time to start because it is Hearing Awareness Week. And joining me in the studio to tell us a little bit more is Teritorry Hearing Director and Principal Audiologist Salimon Joseph. Good morning, Salimon.
Good morning, Katie. Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview.
It's great to have you in the studio. We have had you on the show before. You are a great person to speak to about all things hearing and making sure that we know what's going on with our ears as well, I guess, to put it very bluntly. Now, Salimon, tell us, what's the focus this year for Hearing Awareness Month?
It's so important for any age group, like children to elderly population. Hearing is a so important faculty. For children, for their speech and language development, good hearing is so important.
Yeah.
As you all know, our indigenous children are disadvantaged because they are having the high rate of middle ear diseases. The one of the factor is overcrowding.
Yeah.
You can imagine in a house with 25 people, the hygiene factor will reduce. And that itself is a cause of middle ear disease. And I have been traveling to many communities in Northern Territory since 2016 and until 2013. And I have seen firsthand. It's sad. It's sad. We need, when you think about to do the hearing assessment, we need a sound treated room.
Yeah.
And it's not like optometry. We need to control the ambient noise. I am here at Mix 1049 FM radio station, and here the ambient noise is so low.
Yeah.
So that is why we can communicate so well each other. But imagine an elderly person, if they have hearing problem, they are disengaging with the community.
Yeah.
With the family. They are not knowing what is happening in their own family.
Yeah.
So it automatically lead to depression, isolation. So any class, from very young to elderly, hearing is a vital faculty we need to have. But in Australia, we have a fantastic hearing service system where up to the age of 26, if someone has significant hearing loss, they will be eligible for free hearing aid.
Yeah,
and
right.
then above 65, they also will be eligible for hearing aid.
Yeah, right. So there are different ways that we can help people if they are suffering from hearing loss. But it's interesting that point you'd made as well about the middle ear infections and kids not being able to get into not being able to go and get their ears maybe treated as quickly when they're in the remote communities as what they can here in town. I know though it is an issue for kids. Even my son had different issues, middle ear issues, and we took him for a hearing test. His hearing had been, he did have issues with that hearing, and it has an impact on kids in so many other ways as well, like you've pointed out, your speech development and even your general health and well-being.
Absolutely. We cannot ignore the hearing faculty as itself. It affects, it manifests in many ways in our life because as a broadcaster, Katie itself, you need to have good hearing and the ability to communicate. Just imagine a child with no hearing will not be in a position to speak clearly.
Yeah.
Because the 0 to 5 year, that age bracket is so crucial because the brain plasticity of a child is the highest at that age category, up to that 5 year. Because if you put a child in anywhere, they will learn a language in a reasonably well up to that 5 years.
Yeah.
So that is so crucial. And elderly population and the working class people. Just imagine that the Australian government is supporting up to 26 and above 65. But between the 26 and 65, we need to get the support from our own pocket.
Yeah.
There won't be, but for indigenous population, if they are above 50, they will be eligible for free hearing aid from federal government funding. But 26 to 50, if they engage in community activity, community development project, then they will be eligible for free hearing aid too.
Salimon, tell me, are there different things that we can do to really protect our ears and to look after our ear health?
Absolutely. The simple thing is blowing the nose.
Yep.
Regular nose blowing is so crucial. And we have a system called eustachian tube that balances the middle ear pressure. The eustachian tube connects to the back of the throat from the middle ear. And in Northern Territory, we are in a hot and humid weather.
Yep.
And children wanted to go to their swimming pool. Some children, when they go to swimming for quite often, what happens is they will have blocked ears. So what they need to do, they need to blow their nose,
Yep.
aerate the middle part of the ear, and the eustachian tube will open up and it will equalize the pressure. You will notice that whenever we take off on a plane or when we land,
Yeah.
we will feel the pressure difference. If you swallow, it equalizes the pressure.
Yeah.
So when we have that pressure in the middle part, high pressure or low pressure, the children will feel a blocked feeling, because up to 9 a year, the eustachian tube is in a flat plane. After that, it will have an inclined. So it's much easier to aerate the middle part of the ear. So regular nose blowing, the hygiene factor, and whenever we have a hearing issue, if the child is not talking very well,
Yeah.
most likely the child may not be hearing very well. And we parents, okay, I am a father of 2 children,
Yeah.
we take it for granted that whenever children complain, oh, you are a child, okay, I am not taking it so seriously, but I have seen firsthand when I was working at Queensland Health,
Yeah.
after diagnosis, this child has got a hearing loss. And the mother said, oh, my son was telling me many times that, okay, mommy, I am not hearing well.
Yeah.
And I ignored for, okay, such a long time, okay. No parent should
Yeah.
experience that.
Yeah.
When a child is complaining about mommy or daddy, I am not hearing very well, take to a hearing specialist, audiologist,
Yeah.
and they will do the proper hearing assessment through different audiology tools. We do case history, otoscopy, and tympanometry is a test
Yeah.
to find out the middle ear function, and OAE test is the inner ear function, and the pure tone audiometry. We have wide range of testing tool to assess the proper hearing.
Yeah. So, Salimon, to anybody listening this morning, who on this hearing awareness week and thinking to themselves, oh, look, I'm really, I think my ears are okay, but I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe it's somebody who has had serious issues, or maybe it is a parent that has got a child that they're worried that they may have some issues with their ears. What is the best thing that they can do?
Very important message, Katie. If you have any doubt regarding your child's speech and language development or hearing concerns, take them to a hearing specialist. They are audiologists. And we will be starting our own audiology practice soon. I am a Teritorian, and it's so important. In Territory, we need more audiologists, more audiology services to assess the hearing of children and adults, and the right rehabilitation through hearing aids, and surgical pathway, directly take them to the hospital. We will refer them to hospital, and there will be bit delay in surgery. The waiting time is bit high at this stage. And it will happen. But take them to a hearing specialist. They will do proper hearing test in a sound treated room. Yeah,
and that is really great advice, I think, because you don't want, you don't want to feel as though they're being left behind, or that there are any issues if they're not diagnosed, or if they're not able to see somebody quite quickly.
Absolutely.
Salimon, it is lovely to speak to you this morning. I always appreciate you coming in and having a chat with us, and I think it's really important. Our hearing health is very important. Our ear health is very important. And I think that sometimes it's not until something goes wrong with your ears that you realise just how important they are and how much you need your hearing.
Absolutely. And it is my pride and privilege to talk to an award-winning journalist who got Order of Australia from Australian government.
Yeah. Oh, thanks so much, Salimon Joseph. It is always great to speak to you. Territory Hearing Director and Principal Audiologist. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely.